Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Te Namaha. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. नामाचार्य विलास ठाकुर की जय. श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय. Hare Krishna everyone. You can all unmute and say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna everyone. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So today we'll do Shikshastakam, and we'll also see in the scriptures it is mentioned many of the places about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So first I'll not go into the detail. I'll share this PPT in the WhatsApp, so you can go through that. We'll go through few verses and then I'll go to the Shikshastakam. Okay. So this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 3.77. Sankirtana Pravartaka Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sankirtana Yagne Tanre Bhaje Se Dhanya. Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya is the initiator of Sankirtana. One who worships him through Sankirtana is fortune indeed. Prediction of Advent. So Srimad Bhagavatam, this is a famous verse from the Canto 11, chapter 5, verse 32. Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parsadam Yagnai Sankirtana Prayer Yajanti Hisumedasha. So in the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associate servants, weapons, and confidential companions. So whenever Krishna comes, he will not come alone. Always he comes with his eternal associates from the spiritual world. So all the Panchatattvas that we say, right, or all of them are Manjaris. They are from the spiritual world. So hidden nature of Supreme Lord appearance in Kali Yuga. Prahalad Maharaj in 7th canto of Bhagavatam. Channa Kalavyad Abhavas Triyugo Atasatvam. So in the age of Kali, however, you do not assert yourself as Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore you are known as Triyuga, or the Lord who appears in Triyugas. Actually, what is this Channa Avatara means? He's a hidden. He does not reveal anywhere that he is Lord. Like if somebody calls Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like they can make out that he is the Lord, like Advaita Charya, or somebody calls him, he used to cover his ears. No, no, don't call me. One should not call a human as God, because he is coming in a mood of a devotee. So he does not want to be called himself as God. So bodily luster of Lord in three yugas. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila. Shukla Rakta Pitavarna Eti Eti Nadhyuti Satyatreta Kali Kale Dhare Na Shripati. White, red, and yellow. These are three bodily lusters that our Lord, the husband of the goddesses of fortune, assumes in the age of Satya, Treta, and Kali. So we know like Lord Rama was green, that was in Dwapara, that's not here. But Satyuga, white, Treta, it is red, and yellow, that is his golden complexion. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's golden complexion is compared as yellow. Prediction of Lord Gauranga's advent in the form of a Brahmana. In Adi Purana, in the Narada Puran, the Supreme Person says, Aham eva dvijashreshto nityam prachanna vigraha bhagavad bhakta rupena lokam rakshami sarvada. I shall advent in the form of Brahmana devotee, and I shall hide my factual identity. I shall deliver all the words. So this is told by Lord himself in the Adi Puran. Prediction of his actual time of incarnation. So in Kurma Purana it is stated, Kalina Dahyamanam Udhararaya Tanubhrutam Janma Pratama Sandhyayam Bhavishyati Dvijalaye. The Supreme Person will appear in the first part of the age of Kali. He will appear in the home of a Brahmana to save the embodied conditioned souls burning in the troubles of Kali Yuga. Description of purpose of Sri Chaitanya's incarnation in Garuda Purana. Supreme Person says, Kalina Dakkyamananam Paritranaya Tanubhrutam Janma Pratama Sandhyayam Karishyami Dvijatishu. In the first part of the age of Kali, I will come among the Brahmanas to save the fallen souls who are being burned by the troubles of age of Kali. Actually, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called as the merciful avatar, right? Krishna was like more like he was Lord and he was instructing, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very merciful. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his parents, Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata. Prediction of the name of the mother and actual name of his future birthplace. See, how do we know like if somebody is genuine or not? Like somebody calls themselves as God, right? So this has to be mentioned in the scriptures. So here even his name, parents' name is mentioned. Garuda Purana says, Aham Purno Bhavishyami Yuga Sandhyo Visheshatah Maya Pure Navadvipe Bhavishyami Sachi Sutaha. So Lord is telling here, I will take birth as son of Sachi in Navadvip, Mayapur. I will come in my complete spiritual form in the first part of Kali Yuga. So this is very clear, right? So he's saying that I'm coming in the Mayapur. He takes birth in Mayapur. Prediction of the name of his future first wife and his future assumption of sannyasa order. In the same Garuda Purana, it is stated, Kale Pratama Sandhyayam Lakshmi Kanto Bhavishyati Daru Brahma Samipasthaha Sannyasi Gaura Vigraha. In the first part of Kali Yuga, the Supreme Personality of Godhead will come in a gold-like form. First, he will become the husband of Lakshmi. Then he will become a sannyasi near Lord Jagannatha, who will appear in a divine wooden form. Prediction of bodily color of Sri Chaitanya and nature of his future activities. So I think I'll just go directly to the translations. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is in the Satya Yuga, appeared as the half man, half lion to cure a terrible disease that had ravaged the Daityas and who in the Treta Yuga appeared as person named Rama, the person who defeated the 10-headed Ravana. Narsimha Purana. And who in Dwapar Yuga, I think it is continuation of that, and who in Dwapar Yuga removed the earth's burden and protected the Gopa people of Rajapura, will appear again in Kali Yuga. His form will be golden. He will delight in chanting the Lord's holy name, and his name will be Chaitanya. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu punishing Jagai Magai. Prediction of future advent of Sri Chaitanya by his direct name, Padma Purana. Yogeshwara Sakshad Yogi Chinto Janardanaha Chaitanya Vapur Aste Vai Sandranandatmakaha. The Supreme Personality Janardana, who is the object of the yogi's meditation, who saves the devotees from various sufferings and who is master of all yogic practice, who is always full of divine transcendental ecstasy and bliss, who advent in his own divine form as of Sri Chaitanya. Description of time and place. Then I think this we saw. Okay, it's also mentioned here. In a beautiful place of bank of Bhagirathi, I shall have golden form and I shall take son of Sachi. This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doing Sankirtan moment. Prediction of his mother's name. Okay, this we saw. Okay, this is from Narada Purana. O Divija, demigods, please come and advent as devotees on this earth in the age of Kali Yuga. I will incarnate as son of Sachi to inaugurate the congregational chanting of the name. So all the demigods are coming. We know like Brahma, Arjuna, everyone. Like Arjuna was also there when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and even Lord Brahma, who was Haridas Thakur, and Arjuna was Ramanand Raya, his close associate. So prediction of future sannyasi role and ecstasy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Bhavishya Purana. O austere sage, you should know that in the age of Kali, everyone will see my transcendental form as a sannyasi. I will be exhibiting symptoms of ecstasy, like shedding tears of bliss and hair standing in ecstasy. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will always be like in feeling of ecstasy. Many times he has exhibited. He used to faint when he sees the Lord Jagannath, and he used to be in complete ecstasy. So there are so many actually. I think we can, I'll just share this in the group. You can have a look. So Markandeya Purana. So there are so many Puranas which says that, which proves that Lord Chaitanya is none other than Lord Krishna himself. I think you all must have got some belief now that Lord Chaitanya is Krishna. You can unmute.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Mother.
Hare, yeah, Hare Krishna. So these are all from
Hare
the
Krishna.
Puranas.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Yes, but this is very few people know, like many people don't know, like whoever comes under this sampradaya of ISKCON, right? The Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya, only fortunate people will get to know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come, like, I mean, Lord Krishna had come in Kali Yuga 500 years back. So we are so close, right? Just 500 years back, he was here. And it is said he was very beautiful, very tall and very beautiful. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, I'll just share this. There are a lot many verses, so you can read at your leisure. So we'll go to Shikshastakam. Okay, yesterday's which PDF? I shared it. Okay, you want the celebrities, what they said? I think some Mataji, Ramya Mataji asked me, then I shared this Namamrita in the group. Okay, now we'll go to Chaitanya, Sikshastakam. Okay, I'll send that facts about Mahamantra. Okay, I'll send that. Okay. Mm. So, Shikshastakam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually he was there. He did his leela for 48 years. Okay, so out of 48 years, I mean, he gave just the 8 verses. So who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? We just saw like how many the scriptures have described that he is none other than Lord Krishna himself. And this 8 verses in he had not given as a it was not subsequent verses, but he had given in a different time frame. And Rupa Goswami, he compiled it, and Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami, who is the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, so he had mentioned that in the Antya Lila, because in the during the last 18 years of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so there he this comes in the book. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually he comes in a mood of devotee, but he is actually Krishna who is coming in the mood of Radharani, Radharani and a devotee actually. This is the internal reason. I'll just show you the. We'll explain that. So let's take obeisance of Sri Radha Govind, ISKCON Mangaluru deities, and Srila Prabhupada. So based on whose teachings we are conducting this course. Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his parents Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata. So he was born in Mayapur, West Bengal, and so he had so many symptoms to prove that he was Lord himself. There are so many pastimes. So this Chaitanya Charitamrita is divided into 3 parts. First is the Adi Leela, which will tell about his childhood pastimes, and then the Madhya Leela, that is after he takes sannyas. So first 24 years he was a Grihastashram, and then Madhya Leela, the 6 years. So that time he used to spreading this Sankirtana movement all over India. Like he used to travel completely like South India. He was mostly in South India. So that was in Madhya Leela. And then last 18 years, he was in Jagannath Puri. So that comes in Antya Leela. So those pastimes. So we have that this available in Veda based this book. Also, it is available as a hard copy. So whoever interested can buy. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was small, he had in his feet, like these are the symptoms for a Lord, right? We can see that Shanku and some different Chandra and these things. So these are there in the feet of the Lord. So this was there even in actually once there is marks of this. The footprints had the marks. So Sachi Mata is wondering like from where these footprints are coming. Then they find out that this is in his leg, and then the astrologer also says that he is he's a special person. He's not an ordinary human being. So his name was Vishwambara Mishra in his younger age. And at the age of 24, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu takes sannyas, and he was then married. Already, I mean, he was his first wife, Lakshmi Priya. She, due to snake bite, she died. And then his mother forces him because he was such a young age to marry one more girl. And then he marries Vishnu Priya. But then very next day, she was like 16-year-old. Okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu leaves his old, his mother was very old, and then he leaves his wife also, and he takes sannyas. So, and this is the, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu totally had left only the 8 verse. He has not written any books as such, or he has not given. So these are the only 8 verses, which is called as Sikshastaka. So these 8 verses clearly reveal his mission and facets. These are supremely valuable prayers. So this we sing in temple every day morning, right? After Mangalarti, the Sikshastaka verses will be recited, everyone. So you all, I mean, I'll share this Sikshastaka verses to you. You all learn this and try to recite every day. So first 5 shlokas of this speak about the sadhana bhakti. So that is for us. We are all sadhana bhaktas because we have to follow based on rules and regulations. So we are not in a stage like automatically we get devotion. So we have to follow rules prescribed as per the acharyas. So then 6 to 7 shloka is called as Bhava Bhakti, and shloka 8 is Prema Bhakti. So you all know what are the yuga, I mean, yuga dharma, right? So in Satya Yuga, meditation of Lord Vishnu, and Treta Yuga, performing sacrifice, Dwapar Yuga, elaborate temple worship, and Kali Yuga, chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So whatever benefit we got by doing different sacrifices in different yuga, the same is possible we can get from in Kali Yuga. And Krishna also said that Yagnana Japa Yagnosmi, right? That I am the Japa Yagna out of the sacrifice. So this is Shukadev Goswami speaking Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. So in those days, nobody used to make any notes or anything, right? They didn't have even books or anything. So it was always from hearing. So Shukadev Goswami heard from his father Vedavyasa, and then same thing he repeated to Parikshit Maharaj and all the other sages. So one of his student was Suta Goswami, who was also listening there, and then he narrates the same Bhagavatam to the sages of Naimisharanya. So when Dwapar Yuga ended and then Kali Yuga started, right? There were very bad omens happening. They were able to see the future of Kali Yuga, that it is going to be very bad. And then they all approached the sages of Naimisharanya. They approached Suta Goswami, and then they asked, please to explain the Bhagavatam, right? So and then that was then recorded by Vedavyasa. So that time Suta Goswami explains what happened, the discussions between Parikshit Maharaj and Suta Goswami. So that is the main theme in Bhagavatam. So from creation to all the pastimes and everything, this complete details are available in Bhagavatam. So what we can understand is that Shruti Praman, right? So one, I mean, we need to be, if somebody is really intelligent, they have to accept the Shastras. So we cannot, otherwise, I mean, we cannot depend on the experience. We cannot experience ourselves, not we can believe on just like if there is no scriptural evidence, then we cannot, if there is no authentic mention in the scriptures, then those things also we cannot accept. So Shruti Praman is given so much importance. So Parashuramani, you all know that when he was able to see the fate of Kali Yuga people, he said like, Prayena Alpayushaha Kale Asminjana Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bada Upadrita. So the people are going to have very short lived, and they'll be always in disturbed condition, right? So these things were predicted. So that is why we don't have so much memory as the people of Dwapar Yuga and earlier yugas, Treta Yuga had, right? So so that is why we have to believe, I mean, trust on the Shastras. So this is from the purport, from the preface of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Chaitanya Charitamrita's translation is Prabhupada, but this preface is written by Prabhupada himself. So Prabhupada says, there is no difference between the teachings of Lord Chaitanya presented here and the teachings of Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So whatever teachings Lord Krishna has told and Lord Chaitanya, there is no change. It is same to same. So the teachings of Lord Chaitanya are practical demonstration of Lord Krishna's teachings. So practical demonstration means Krishna says everything, like I am the Lord, and how one devotee should be, how he has to worship me. So as a devotee, we don't know. Krishna told, but then how can I worship Krishna? So Lord Krishna comes as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and as a devotee, how one should submissively surrender to the Lord. That is shown by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so that we can follow him. So Lord Krishna's ultimate instruction in Bhagavad Gita is that everyone should surrender unto him, Lord Krishna. Krishna promises to take immediate charge of such a surrendered soul. So what is that shloka? Surrender and I take the complete charge. Yes, anyone can unmute and tell. The famous shloka of surrender. You can also put in chat, or you can unmute also. Leave all the religions, Krishna says. Which is the shloka? No one knows. Sarva dharmam paritijya, no one knows. Sarva dharmam paritijya mamekam sharanam braja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha ishyami ma suchaha. I will save you from all the sinful reactions, Krishna says. Just submit to me. I mean, surrender to me, right? So the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is already in charge of maintenance of this creation by virtue of his plenary expansion, Kshirodaka Shai Vishnu. But this maintenance is not direct. So Lord Krishna does not involve in materialistic activities. He's always there in, he's always enjoying, right? Krishna is always having his fruit and he is enjoying in the spiritual world. So when he wants to come into this material world, right, he takes expansion of a Kshirodaka Shai Vishnu, and then he comes, and then he does all the leelas. So, however, when the Lord says that he takes charge of his pure devotee, he actually takes charge. So we know this, right? In Ananya Sintayanto Mam Ejanaf Mam Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. Krishna says, I directly take charge. Like the example of Arjunacharya, we saw how he had a doubt, but then Krishna comes directly and delivers the food to his house. So Krishna directly takes care of a pure devotee. A pure devotee is a soul who is forever surrendered to the Lord, just as a child is surrendered to his parents or an animal to its master. In the surrendering process, one should, so these are the 6 ways one should surrender, right? Anukulasya sankalpaha pratikulasya varjanam rakshishyatiti vishwaso goptritve varnanam tata atmanikshepa karpanye shadvida sharanagatihi. So what does it say? Accept things favorable for discharging devotional service, reject things. So whatever is favorable for Krishna and the Guru, that we need to accept, and reject the things which are not favorable. So even if I like something and if Guru is not liking, then we shouldn't do that. And if I don't like, but my spiritual master orders me to do it, then I have to do. So that is real surrender. Always believe firmly in Lord's protection. So Avashya Rakshabe Krishna. Feel exclusively dependency on mercy of Lord. Have no interest separate from the interest of Lord, and always feel oneself meek and humble. So these are the 6 ways how one surrenders. So in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, I mean, gives in the instructions, right? He's a Lord himself. So he says, Sarva dharma paritijya mamekam sharanam bhaja aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksheshyami masucha, in 18.66 shloka. And then in 10.8 shloka he says, aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the owner, I am the controller, I am for the material and the spiritual world, right? Whoever knows me engages in devotional service. This is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita in chapter Chatushloki, from 10.8 to 10.11. Krishna explains all the 4 shlokas, right? So then somebody understands that he is the Lord, then he engages in the devotional service. And then Krishna also says that Dadami Buddhi Yogam Ham. I will give them the intelligence so that they can come to me. The intelligence, how they can come to me. That intelligence as Paramatma, Krishna gives us in the heart. And then for also who is not, Krishna also says that he will remove the ignorance, right? with the light of knowledge in our heart. So these 4 shlokas are very important. So these Krishna tells, and also in 9.34 and 8.65 it's again repeated. Manmana bhava madbhaktaha madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishvasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayana. So how you can become my devotee? Lord Krishna explains that Manmana bhava madbhakto, always think of me and become madhyaji mam namaskuru, pay obeisances to me. Mame vaishvasi yuktvaim, always think of me and surely you will attain me, Krishna says. And in 5.29, it's called as peace formula, where Krishna says, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram surudam sarva bhutanam gnatva mam shantim ruchyati. I am the enjoyer, right? Bhoktaram yajna tapasam. So of all the sacrifices, I am the enjoyer, right? Krishna is the enjoyer. For what do we do this all sacrifices? So it is to satisfy the Lord. So the main purpose of sacrifice is to satisfy the Lord. So Bhoktaram Yajna Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Surudam Sarva, and I mean he is a controller of all the worlds, of both the material and spiritual. And Surudam Sarva Bhutanam, he is a well-wishing friend of all the living entities, right? So he's the one who comes with us life after life as a Paramatma in our heart. And then Krishna also says in chapter 4, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuddhanam dharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. And then pavitranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So he has told all these instructions, but then still people of Kali Yuga, I mean, don't understand that whatever Krishna has given these rules, we have to follow. So then it is just like in a company, there is a manager. Okay, he is like he's ordering all the time. You do this, you do this. This is how is expected from you. You have to do it. So then that person is ordering. Nobody likes. Oh my God, how much he orders? So much he's telling. He's praising himself and all that. But then there comes another manager who works along with you, and then he shows how to work. So everybody will be pleased. Oh, this person is really good. He don't have that ego or anything. Actually, it's similar like that. So Krishna, he says that he is the Lord and you should worship me and all that. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never says that. He, as a devotee, he comes and he shows how, as a devotee, you can worship the Lord, right? So actually, it is not boasting. Like if a CEO of a company is disclosing his assets and his number of employees to the media, that is not like boasting. That is, he's declaring. That's what Krishna has done in Bhagavad Gita. He's just explaining that what all his potencies, opulences, and these things. But some people feel that Krishna is boasting. So 3 reasons for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. So basically, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming as a devotee and preaching Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a secondary. But there is 3 confidential reasons for which the Lord comes. The first purpose was to relish the position of Srimati Radharani, who is the prime reciprocator of transcendental love of Sri Krishna. Actually, Krishna always feels, how is Radharani so happy? I mean, she's in my company. How is she so happy? So he couldn't make out, because he is a transcendental male and Srimati Radharani is a transcendental female. Though she is an expansion of the Lord himself. Srimati Radharani is an internal potency of the Lord only. Is an internal potency, energy of the Lord. But then he cannot understand how is she loving Krishna so much. So he wanted to experience that love. So when he comes in the mood of Radharani. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes in a mood of Radharani. So he's always in a separation with Krishna. So that's how he feels that separation. So the second reason of his appearance was to understand the transcendental mellow of himself. He wanted to understand himself. How is he so sweet? So that is second reason. The third reason that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared was to enjoy the bliss tasted by Srimati Radharani. So first is the position of Radharani, and then he wants to know himself, experience his own rasa, and then third reason was to enjoy the bliss. So here it is said, Lord Chaitanya appeared in the order to fulfill these confidential desires. He had these desires, so he wanted to fulfill, and also to preach the special significance of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. And to answer the call of Advaita Prabhu, like Advaita Prabhu, he praised the Lord, like to come. I mean, there were like Kali Yuga symptoms were seen. Then he prays to the Lord to come take incarnation. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes. So these are secondary reasons. So these are the primary reasons. Sorry. So it is said here, Prabhura Shikshastaka shloke ye pade shune Krishna prema bhakti tara bade dine dine. From Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela, chapter 20, verse 65. If anyone recites or hears these 8 verses of instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his ecstatic love and devotion for Krishna increase day by day. Okay, so very important to recite this every day. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandambudivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So glory to Shri Krishna Sankirtana, congregational chanting of Lord's holy name, which cleanses the heart of all dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtana moment is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. So here it is said that our heart has accumulated lot of dust. So what is this dust actually called? So this dust is nothing but anybody knows? Can you guess what is the dust that is accumulated in our heart? What is it compared to? So in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asked this. Yes, smoke, lust. Yes, very nice. So yes,
All
very good
people.
answer. Yeah, this is it is lust. Okay. So what does Arjuna says? Atha kena prayukto yam papam charati purusha anicham api varshneya bhalad iva niyojitaha. I mean, what is that? He asked why people are engaged in sinful acts unwillingly, even by engaged by force, right? As though somebody is forcing me to do something sinful activity. I don't want to, but why are people engaged? Then Krishna says, Kama esha krodha esha rajo guna samudbhavaha mahashano mamapatma vidyenam ihavairinam. So Krishna says it is lust only, Arjuna, right? It is only lust which is arised out of the material mode of nature. So we are all in the 3 modes of nature, and basically it is coming from the mode of passion, and later it transfers to wrath, right? And this is a sinful enemy in this world, Krishna says. So what happens here? Lord is telling, when we start chanting Hare Krishna mantra, it cleanses our heart from all the anarthas, right? So what are the anarthas we have? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Matsarya, Moha, and all this. So all anarthas will go, right? And then it is compared to forest fire. So what is forest fire? It is because Prabhupada says in this material world is like a forest fire. It does not give. I mean, the problems in this material world does not give. I mean, nobody expects problem, but just like that it comes, right? Like a forest fire, it catches fire just like that. So just like that, I mean, without our expectation, the problems we get in this world. But it is not easy to escape this forest fire unless we have a spiritual master. And Prabhupada says that like when there is a forest fire, people may run and they can save their lives. But there are so many insects and small animals who cannot run and they will die in that, right? So if we don't take the shelter of a guru And then if we had not got this Hare Krishna mantra, then it is very difficult for us. We will be suffering life after life. Like we can never come. It is said here, you cannot never come out of this conditional life of repeated birth and death. And then here it is compared to benediction moon. That is the like the moon rays are very cool. Similarly, when somebody chants, it gives a cooling effect to our heart. So it is also the life of transcendental knowledge, and it increase the bliss. So more and more, it is like just like in ocean, if you take a buckets of water, it will nothing will happen, right? Ocean will be full. Ocean will never get empty, how much ever water we take. Similarly, the Hare Krishna mantra, so much, how much ever you do, it is having so much of bliss to give. So always one person can experience this bliss. So this is the first shloka. Second one. नाम नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस् तत्रार्पिता नियमित स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशम् इह जानि नानुरागः. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. These are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I don't have attraction for them. So when we tell Lord name, Krishna's name, for Nama, Rupa, Guna, Adi, that is name, form, quality, and past tense, everything. Krishna's form and Krishna is not different from his name. So when we take name, it is that's what is said here. There are millions of names, and in this transcendental name, you have invested all your transcendental energy. So if somebody chant the holy name, their all sins are get nullified, right? So that is why we should take the Lord name. In earlier ages, like people used to keep children names as God's name, no? But nowadays we don't keep that. I mean, we are not aware why they used to keep, because when we take the name of the Lord, it has so much of potency in that. So that is why children were kept Lord name in those times. There are even no hard force rules. So there is no rules for chanting. Anytime we can chant. But then he says that, but I don't have the attraction to take your name. Okay. Trunadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada harihi. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. So when can we chant the holy name? Why do we not getting that taste? Because we are not, I mean, we are not in that stage. So it is told in what, how one has to chant the holy name. So this shloka we can learn how, in a what kind of state of mind we should be. We should be humble than a grass, it says, because even if you step the grass, it grows again, right? Even like how, like there is it is said, like a leader, if somebody is in a leadership position, he should be always ready to face the criticism. Always he'll be under, I mean, people will be criticizing him for his decisions or whatever, and they'll be fault finding. So these things is always there, but then he should be still humble. He cannot the person, when he, if or somebody appreciates him, so the person may get pride, but one has to be very humble. And there should not be a false pride, right? I was listening to one lecture by Radhanath Swami. So where he was telling about false pride. So we are all, nobody is bad. He said, nobody is bad, nobody is mad, but we are all sick. So unless we accept that I am sick, I will not take the medicine, right? So unless I accept I am in a problem, so I am not ready to take the spiritual life. So uh, it is like he gives an example like John Kennedy, who was a president, right? Famous president. He had a beautiful wife. He was very famous, a millionaire, and but then he one day he had everything, but he had very few enemies also. It is said, but then he committed suicide. So what made him? So nobody can save anyone, like whatever you have. So only dependency on Krishna can save someone. So avashyak rakshibe Krishna. So only when one develops such uh, uh, intelligence, so he will become very sober and he'll be humble. Otherwise, it is not possible to become humble, right? And then you have to be very tolerant. And Krishna also says, Matra spashastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama payino nitya tamstitiksha bharata. You tolerate, Arjun, he says, right? Just like how the seasons, it changes. So just like that, happiness comes and distress, this is a part of life. It comes and goes in this material world, but this is not there in the spiritual world. So there is no distress there. It is always blissful. So here we have to tolerate. So devoid of all sense of false prestige. So uh, one has to give up. This is the reason. If you can see the initiated names, it says ends with das and dasi. That is like your servant of the Lord, and that is our actual position, right? Jivere Swarupohe Krishnere Nitya Das. We are actually, the soul is the eternal servant of the Lord. Krishna also says, Mamaivamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, right? So we are, you are my part and parcel, Krishna says. You are a fragment of me. So that false prestige should go. We should not identify with our false prestige, and we have to serve the Lord. Only in that stage, and also you should, we should respect others, and but don't expect respect from others. In this state of mind, one can chant the holy name constantly. Na dhanam na janam na sundari kavita mam jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishwari bhavatad bhaktir ahaituki tvai. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth. So this is the expectation of a pure devotee, right? He don't even ask liberation. He says, I don't need a liberation also. So he only want the service to the Lord, life after life. So that, what does pure devotee say? I don't mind even if I go to hell, but then give me your service. I want to do your service there also. Or they're okay to come to this material world also. Even uh, uh, in Vrindavan, there is a place where yeah, uh, who is that? Uddhava. Uddhava, he's there as a grass, right? He want to be there. It's okay. He says like so that Krishna keeps his foot on him, right? So he's okay to be grass also, like, but then they want the association of the Lord. Some more they want the association of the Lord. So that is the desire of a pure devotee. So here he says, I don't want to accumulate wealth. And wealth also, wherever there is Narayana, Lakshmi is only there where Narayana is there, right? Some people worship only Lakshmi, but then Lakshmi, we know she's called as very chanchala, right? She don't stay in one place, she just goes. So whoever worship Lord, automatically Lakshmi will follow, because it is said Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevya Manam. So thousands of Lakshmis are serving the Lord in Goloka, right? So they are always, she's always ready to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. So if you want even the wealth, then not Lakshmi, you have to worship the Narayana, right? Or Krishna. So he says that I don't want number of followers nor wealth. So number of followers, like people are very much, they need followers. Even in the when somebody comes into spiritual life also, that person starts starts like he wants to his name to be appreciated. He wants his disciples to worship him and give him something and all that. But then once what happens, Prabhupada conducts a Bhagavad Gita. So I mean, he has a there was a for in a Bombay, like 10,000 people he could accumulate in that pendal, right? They put a big pendal and all that. So then his devotee asked, why are you somebody asked him, his disciples, Prabhupada, why are you spending so much of money? Will people take the Krishna consciousness? Then Prabhupada says, I don't want 1,000 stars, right? I don't want 1,000 useless stars, because they cannot. I just want one moon is enough, right? One person, if he becomes a sincere devotee, that is enough for me. I don't mind. So that is what Prabhupada says. So Prabhupada is never behind making number of followers, right? He always believed in the quality, or he wanted people who are genuine. They genuinely they want to follow Krishna consciousness. And I want causeless then no women, right? So no desire for any desire for beautiful women. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left his wife only when he was 16 years. She was 16 years and she was so beautiful, right? So, and also he was never allowing any women disciples to come near him. He was very strict. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very strict as a sannyasi. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavambudau kripaya tava pada pankaja stitaduli sadrusham vichintaya. O son of Maharaja Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. So all the pure devotees, they just want to become a dust of a dust in the lotus feet of the Lord, right? They are even during the pralaya, in the pralaya scene in chapter 10, we see the Lord. You must have all seen like Krishna tasting his own toes, right? He because he wants to see why all my devotees want to come, I mean, become a dust of my lotus feet. What is there? Why is my feet? Why is it so sweet? Why do they want to come to my feet? I mean, after death, like, so he does that, and we know like Krishna also says, Devi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva ye Prapadyante Maya me tam tarantite. So it is very difficult to come out of this, right? I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. So we all have taken, we don't know what we have committed in earlier lives and all that. So in this life also, so we are taking birth after birth. But then there is no guarantee also that I'll get a human life again. So this life I have got human life. So then I have to cleverly, like God has given intelligence. So this intelligence, which where we are able to make discrimination, which is good and bad. So this is only given to human beings, right? The animals cannot do this. So that we have to make use of it, and we have to take the spirituality seriously. So here it is said. So Krishna says that I will save you from this ocean of death and birth and death. So we have got because of blessings of uh, Srila Prabhupada, right? We are under his shelter. So we should consider ourselves fortunate enough. And if we follow as per his guidelines, obviously we can cross this ocean of miseries. So the sixth one, this is the bhava, right? The first five was for the sadhakas, that is for us. This is for the advanced devotees. So this shows the symptoms of ecstatic love of a devotee. So when he is in completely immersed in the devotional service of the Lord, there are some bodily changes which happens. Like sometimes he cries unbearably, and then from the separation of Lord, right? And trembling, flattering of voice. So these all, there are so many symptoms. So this all comes in nectar of devotion also. नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदरुद्धया गिरा पुलकैर्निचितं वपुः कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति. Oh my Lord, when my eyes be decorated with tears of love, flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? So it is said, like, if one day we will really get the tears, it seems like, if you so much involved in the chanting, then, like, Krishna, Prabhupada says, our heart is now very like a hard like stone. If it is soft, then we have to get tears when we chant, right? We are not in that platform now. We are like very, we want to finish our rounds, like, so that is what is in our mind right now. How many rounds I have completed? How many is balanced? Like that. But then for them, it is, they're constantly, he's asking, how constantly can I chant your name? And okay, can you tell me a reference where a person, Gadgada, right? This where did you hear this before? Like, my body is trembling. Have you heard anywhere in Bhagavad Gita? Who says this? That my body is trembling?
Mataji,
Arjuna.
Arjuna says when he was lamented, so that moment is bow and all these things.
Yes. He
Yeah.
he he says that he cannot fight anymore, right? His body is shivering. That's what he says, right? He's trembling, and my hairs are standing on end. So I can no more hold my Gandiva, Arjuna says, right? So it's slipping from his hand. So, but then that is materialistic. Okay, Prabhupada says that that is a materialistic, that is a on material platform. If we, like, chant, and if after some days if I tell, oh, I am also feeling, I'm getting cry, then, but that is all the anarthas, I mean, that is coming from out for us. But we are not in that platform of transcendental love yet, right? That will take years, and that is only possible for the pure devotees. So Arjuna's, that was in a materialistic platform, though Krishna only made bewilders him to come, I mean, to give the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, but that was not a symptoms of aesthetic love. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always used to be in that ecstasy. So whenever he sees the Lord, many people have seen him. Like, so many times in a day, he used to faint, thinking of Lord. Whenever he thinks of the last 18 years, he was always thinking of the Lord's pastime, Vrindavan. And many times, if he sees a river, Yamuna, he used to just jump, thinking that it is Yamuna and gopis are there. Gopis, Krishna is there. He thinks that, and he jumps. So much he was involved. He was not literally, he was not in this world. He used to so many it was in like a complete madness kind of, so transcendental madness it is. So always somebody, all his disciples used to be there with him, like what he would do, what I mean, he may not, he shouldn't harm himself, like that. So and Radharani, so one more example, it comes in Nectar of Devotion. You all will learn in the level 3, where Radharani, she sees a blue cloud, and she immediately she feels that she wants the association of Krishna, because blue cloud reminds her of the Lord. Because it is said in Brahma Samhita, Venum Kwanantam Aravinda Dalayatakshan Barhavatam Sam Asitambuda. Asitambuda means like a cloud color, color of a cloud. Is a like a light bluish color, na Krishna. Asitambuda Venum Kwanantam Aravinda Dalayatakshan Barhavatam Sam Asitambuda Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. We can see here Krishna's blue color. So when she sees the cloud, she would remember the Lord. So that is the ecstatic love. So this shloka explains about the Vipralamba Bhava, that is love in separation. So when a devotee feels so much in separation from the Lord, Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravrushaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam Govinda virahena me. Oh Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. So actually, when Krishna, when Akrura comes to take Krishna, to Mathura, right? So all gopis and all, like, they were rolling on the floors and they were crying, Krishna, don't go, don't leave us, right? So they were always in that mood. Even Krishna was not there, they were always in that separation mood. So that is actually, it is said that in love, in actually in spiritual, the Vipralamba Bhava is said to be the highest, the love in separation. So this is what the last years Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to cry a lot, because he was in a mood of Radharani and he was in a separation from the Lord Krishna. So this is last shloka. It is called as Atma Nivedanam. That is called total surrender. Ashlisya va padaratam pinashtu mam adarshanan marmahatam karotu va yatha tata va vidadatu lampato mat prananatastu sanaeva paraha. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, or he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. So whatever you do, Krishna, but then it is called complete surrender. So even if he gives pain also, it is okay, but he is my Lord. It is the last sloka. And where Prabhupada, when he goes to West, he's Boro Krupa. There's a very famous song. You can check in the YouTube. It's a very beautiful song. So where one of the words where Prabhupada says, what is that? Guru Kripa Mune Krishna Dhamira Pati. Aniya cho jadi Prabhu amare nachate. Aniya cho jadi Prabhu amare nachate. Nacho, 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 Prabhu nacho, se mate, kastera putali jata, nacho se mate. It says that, oh Lord, I am just like your puppet in your hand. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance, oh Lord, make me dance as you like. So when Prabhupada gets down in America, he sees that people are so much engaged in materialistic life, and they are so much into sense enjoyment, and all of them, no one is following any of the regulative principles. All are in mode of passion and ignorance. He feels, how am I going to tell the divine knowledge of the Lord Krishna to these people? So then he prays to the Lord. Okay, you have brought me here. Now I am your puppet. I don't know if you want to make me dance as per your as per your in your hands, then please do it, please do it. So this is a prayer of Prabhupada also. So the pure devotee is completely dependent on the Lord. He don't have any. So Prabhupada is so qualified, but still he felt like he don't know anything. So you should hear that song, very beautiful prayer. And so with this, we complete the 8 shlokas of Siksastakam. So Hare Krishna. So we all can chant together. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Rama Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare.
Rama Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
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 Hare
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 Hare.
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna.
Hare.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So very less people today. Hopefully, I don't know if they will come tomorrow, or they all thought that class got over. So we still have chapter 18 tomorrow and day after. So with that, we complete. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes,
Hare Krishna,
you all you all got a basic understanding now, like about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Sikshastakam. So,
yes,
Yes, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, then we close. No, any questions? Any doubts? Okay, try to memorize this. It is bit hard, but then with the tune, if you learn, you'll get it fast. I mean, just every day try to recite, then it will come to you automatically. So very nice verses. Okay. No questions? Okay, then we can end. I think hope all of you have enrolled yourself for the level 2. And yes, Ridham Prabhuji, actually the thing is earlier how it used to be in like a modules, okay? Like whoever, like, because they cannot again start every time from chapter 1. So it will be going on. Like you will be first to 6 chapter 1 module, and then 6 to 7 to 12, and then 13 to 18. So 3 modules. So whoever joins in the middle, they start from there only. Okay, it used to be like that, but now I think, I don't know, I saw your message like yeah, it will be like from 6th you start, and then you complete 18, and then you do a first module. It used to be like that. So now maybe they changed, I don't know if, or maybe the new chapter is starting. So many of you must have it. You can join that group. I have confirmed it is from a devotee only. So you please join that group of chapter 1. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Radha Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. See you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.